These children are the kite strings that lift our national ambitions aloft, and how we treat them is the measure of what kind of decency and honor we have as a society.
We also want that future to be better for our children. So this is all about the children.
For decades, Democrats have tried to convince women that they care more about them and the children than Republicans care. Well, it's always been a lame campaign tactic, and it's always pegged to these tedious cliches and to their support for things like abortion and food stamps. Meanwhile, Republicans think women value things like, I don't know, prosperity, a good job, and safe streets. But that's not all. Mothers and fathers, of course, also greatly value education. And anyone who has or has had children knows there's no substitute for in-person learning from teachers in an actual school with peers and extracurricular activities.
All of my kids in my classroom are all laughing, and there's talking, and there's movement and busyness, and I've gone from that to a totally different thing where I'm an IT person looking at a screen all day.
We're certainly concerned about everyone's safety. That's paramount. But there's essential businesses that have to get work done, and we think educating our kids is essential.
Thus, after 3.5 months of distance learning, don't you hate that phrase? For millions of American students, exhausted parents coast to coast, and especially mothers, are really anxious about what the fall will bring for their children and themselves. As moms who work outside the home are beginning to head back into the office, they need to know that their sons and daughters will be heading back to school Monday through Friday. You know, like they did in the PC era, pre-COVID. Yet just yesterday in Fairfax County, Virginia, one of the most affluent and populous suburbs of Washington, D.C., the Democrat-controlled school district made the shocking announcement that it's not going to be fully reopening in the fall. Instead, families are given two options: enrolling their kids in 100% online classes 4 days per week, or in-person classes for just 2 days a week. Now, with the latter option, kids will have to remain 6 feet apart at all times, daily health screenings, and regular hand washing and sanitizing. Now, it's similar to a plan being put forward by the neighboring Loudoun County, Virginia, another wealthy county controlled by Democrats. We have a lot of those in the D.C. area. I wonder why. Now, that was just a few days ago. Now, parents in both counties are rightfully outraged. One parent telling a local ABC station, "I also have seen the repercussions at home where they were distancing. I saw depression. I saw them lose interest in life. And I can't sit by and watch that happen again." Well, she's right. We can't let this happen again. We know the heavy toll this is taking on children's mental health.
The vast majority of children are at very, very low risk of any serious consequences of this disease. Keeping kids out of school is causing enormous harm to them. We know from studies now out of China that depression rates in kids who've been locked down are up 20 to 30%. We know that children from low-income families in particular who are being homeschooled, if we're waiting for children to be immunized before they go back to school, we could be looking at 2, 3, 4 years. That's an eternity.
Now, of course, living in this area, we're used to mistakes by left-wing, out-of-touch elites who don't fully appreciate the real-world consequences of their actions. But it would be terrible, a terrible shame, if these two counties set an example for the rest of America. Now, I'm sure the folks in Fairfax County will claim they're only doing these extreme measures because of the virus, for public health.